Hi, I'm Junior with Keystone RV Center, Greencastle, Pennsylvania, off I-81, exit 1. Want to talk to you today real quick about hooking up your pickup truck to a chaparral fifth wheel, any fifth wheel in the industry. This is going to be pretty much standard for. Today we're going to be talking specifically about the Demco 21K. You're going to see other Demco products this will cross over to, and you'll probably be able to adapt it to different fifth wheels in the industry. But just for legal purposes, this is only for the 21K Demco. First thing we're going to do before we even back up to the fifth wheel, make sure you drop your tailgate. It's going to sound silly, but you need to make sure you do it. There's enough dented tailgates out there. If you don't believe me, look through the campground. Next thing we're going to talk about, and I'm going to cheat and use Ford's beautiful easy step here. No, they're not paying me to say that. I'm just getting older, so it's a lot easier. Notice how the bar is slid across on this one. The jaws are closed. We're going to open that just by grabbing a hold of this. Make sure that our pin is out, because if you have it set in here, that's not going to be able to allow the handle to slide across and auto lock on there. We also have a sliding fifth wheel hitch version, so we want to make sure this is pinned in the forward position. We do have the pin through here. If you're hooking up at an oddball angle and you need it slid back, please go ahead and do that. The one nice thing with the Demco hitches, you can slide them by hand. That's right, Reese. Go ahead, be jealous now. So again, make sure it's pinned in the forward position. We're going to talk about what you're going to be looking at while you're backing up to this. It's good to have somebody off the back, but you can't always have that. So today we're going to show you what you're going to be looking at from that front seat to get this lined up correctly. All right, guys, we'll see you inside. Legal has told me that even though we're in a parking lot, I should be buckled. So you should be too. Anyway, when we're backing up, what we're going to be looking at is, Mark, if you pop over that middle seat there, that middle headrest, you see how the Demco hitch has that little bit of a notch in the middle there, kind of like a support. Mark, we're going to go ahead and turn your parking aid off for you. See how we've got that lined up. Now I'm looking over my right shoulder, not turned around and looking to my left. That's going to give me a better line of sight to make sure I'm lining everything up. So as we come back to it, I'm going to stop us right there so you could see what the hitch should look like on the outside, because the question always is, how high is the right height, everything like that. Now on this Ford, it's got this beautiful off-road status. If you have not figured this out yet, it'll show you. Mark, can you even see that? Wow, that's awesome. Mark's good with the camera. So it'll show you what angle your wheels are turned at. So once you've got it where you want to be coming straight back, I still look at that to make sure my wheels are straight, because this truck has a turn radius. It actually doesn't have any turn radius. You probably could have this wheel turned all the way to one side and it would still come straight back. But it does help, so you can make sure you line that up perfectly straight. How many times we see somebody, they got the wheel just turned slightly off and they're drifting. So that'll help. Guys, let's jump out here and let's see what we need for height when we're hooking up. If you notice on the front of this fifth wheel here, we've got a little bit of an angle. What that's gonna match up with this. So we want this fifth wheel not so that this plate's coming in level on this. You want it to ramp up a little bit on that. Doesn't have to be super drastic, but we want a good ramp up there. That way we don't what we call high hitch, where you're actually sitting about a ½ inch high. That can mess the jaws up on the inside of the hitch. So when you're coming back, you're going to run this up on there just a little bit. What you're shooting for is at the base here. As long as this kingpin is anywhere within this opening, you are perfectly fine. It will force itself in. Now, of course, you want to make sure you chock the wheels. You're on somewhat level ground. Whether you use leveling chocks, wheel chocks, the yellow wheel chocks, or you use the X chocks from us, either one of those is going to be perfectly fine. A lot of guys are going to say, "Oh, you can just back up to it with no blocks on it whatsoever." You can, but you're betting that it's not going to roll backwards. I don't want to bet a $500 deductible that it's not going to roll backwards. So let's go ahead and back up the rest of the way, and we'll show you how to lock everything in. Alright guys, now that we've hitched up to it, you notice this Demco allows the handle to slide completely across. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to drop this pin in right there, lock it in place. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect my breakaway. And I lock mine right onto there. I prefer the bungee breakaway. If you guys have not seen our RV gift video, please check that out. You'll understand this a little bit better. Now you can see with this on here, it could bind up when you're backing up. Having that bungee elastic breakaway cable does make it really nice. So then at that point, I'm going to grab my 7-way. Now on all our company trucks, we have the 7-way in the bed. If you own a fifth wheel and you don't own this accessory, stop down and see us. We'll get it put in for you. We'll get you a price quote based on the vehicle. These things are great. It keeps the cord from binding up. It keeps from our tailgates getting chafed. And last but not least, close the tailgate. Let's go out here and show you how to operate the legs on this chaparral. All right, guys. You're going to come in your front storage bay on chaparrals. You're going to have, on the newer ones, you're going to have this auto level with a completely simplified control panel. Press on the up and the down arrow at the same time. You're going to see a little green light come on, and then we're going to press up to go up and down to go down. So we're going to retract these legs some, and what we're looking for here is we want to break contact with the ground a little bit. The reason for that is so we can do a pull test to make sure everything's hooked on there correctly. So we're going to get it to right about there. Both of them are off the ground slightly. Now we're going to jump back into the truck. We're going to activate the brake controller, and we're just going to pull forward a hair to make sure that that hitch is locked in correctly. We're going to drop the tailgate. I know you're seeing me put this tailgate up and down, but I prefer to do that because walking around makes it easier. All right, guys, let's jump back in the vehicle. All right, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach down. Now, our brake controller is built in here. If you have an aftermarket one, you should have it right about here. You should still have some kind of pinch lever to hold together to activate the brake controller. Do that. I'm going to drop it down into first gear. I'm going to release my foot off the pedal brake, and you're going to feel the brakes on the trailer grab about 1 second to 2 seconds later. You saw Mark get a little bit nervous there if the camera would have been on him. And I'm just going to add a little bit of gas. Make sure that that hitch is grabbing, trailer brakes are working, everything is good to go there. Now folks, I'm going to leave the truck run. I'm going to do my final walk around with my headlights on. I've already ensured that my trailer brakes are working, so we're going to go ahead and get this thing going through a full walk around, again, by yourself. So we're going to be using 4 ways, not turn signals. See you out there. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at these cap lights. Now they are LED lightings on these chaparrals. It's a great feature, so I just want to make sure they're working. I got 2 good lights there. I'm going to make sure that I put my pin in for my hitch. I'm going to double check my breakaway. That's locked in there. Double check my sliding hitch feature. Shut my tailgate. Go ahead and lift up my one leg. Come back over here to this. That guy's still on. I'm going to press retract all. And it's going to bring them all up automatically for me. Check my clearance light there, my clearance light up top, do my baggage door lock, check. My hot water heater is closed, my cap is closed for my shore cord, sewer hose connection is made, jacks are up, wheel chock is removed, light down there is fine, I got flashing lights there. We make sure we got to tell Lewis and Jason to put a dealer plate on it before they take it. Lewis and Jason are going on a friendship retreat this weekend, so we do have to make sure they get that done. Other lights working, we got flashing on both. All the lights up top are functioning. Light down there is, ladder secure. Wheel chock's already been pulled from this side. Handles closed, doors closed, steps are up. Front storage compartment's locked, clearance light's good, and the baggage doors there is good too. Pull this last one up, and we'll retract these the rest of the way, make sure they're all the way up. Folks, that's all there is. Tune in for our next video when we show you how to unhook this thing.